Hi, I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about public speaking. It won't surprise you that public speaking is always up there in the top 5 of things that people get nervous about. So this little video we're making for you today is just about some techniques, some strategies that you might have to be able to counter those nerves and also to do a little bit of practice beforehand. So I'm going to go through some of those with you now. So what happens when we're nervous is that everything tightens up. This all becomes constricted and you stop breathing into your diaphragm. Talk about that in a moment. And all your breaths become shallow and from the throat, and this goes dry. You don't know what you have no more sort of saliva in your mouth. It all feels horrible. Your tongue feels thick, and that's just nervousness. So we want to avoid that as celebrants, and I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about some of the things that you can do for that. So before we speak in public, we need to practice speaking. It's true. You know what your voice is like first thing in the morning? It's all croaky. It's because it's not warmed up and it's not got going, it's not lubricated. So what I'm going to suggest is to actually just do some talking. Do some talking, do some warm-up exercises. I mean, daft things like making your lips move, stretching your mouth really wide, and then making it tiny. Those funny little exercises that my colleagues always laugh at me when I'm making. Practice putting a toffee in your mouth and chewing, making grotesque faces, I know, but what does it matter? It's loosening this up. Also, you need to release all the tension around your neck and your shoulders. So do a little bit of neck rolling, gentle shoulder rubs, and just relax. I said earlier about breathing into your diaphragm, and breathing is a wonderful way to get past your nerves. So we all breathe, but we don't breathe deeply. So we don't want to see the shoulders going up when we breathe. So we don't want... Actually made me cough. We want to take a breath in down to our diaphragm. So, and I don't know whether you notice, but this expands here when you breathe into your diaphragm, and your voice comes from a different part of your body, which you can push out more from your diaphragm. So that should be part of your warm-ups, not only the mouth exercises and the getting rid of tension, but the breathing deeply into your diaphragm so you can push the sound outwards. So that's a top tip for everybody, and certainly when you're practicing, which is also a thing you need to do. So please don't practice in your head. Practice out loud, and you can record yourself. So make a little recording like I'm doing now, just on your phone or on your mobile phone or your laptop or your iPad or whatever you're using. So record yourself and then play it back, and then see how much of that you do. See how much fiddling you do. See how much of holding eye contact with the camera, which is essentially your audience. So see how much of that happens. See how your voice sounds. Are your shoulders going up in short breaths, or are you looking relaxed? Is your body language saying, I'm a relaxed, confident celebrant, and I'm going to tell you this story, this life story, or this love story. So there's some top tips. Record yourself, watch it back, do different versions, place emphasis on different words and see what works better. You can look in the mirror to do this as well, because obviously that's sort of live, and film yourself, and Zoom meetings. So that was the other thing. We are very much, now we've had a pandemic, used to having video meetings, and if you allow a group of your friends to let you say something to them over Zoom, they can give you feedback. It could be that you're reading a script, or it could be that you're just reporting back on something and you want their impression on how confident you look, or whether you smile enough, because that's obviously going to affect how you look and how you sound. Don't forget that your smile affects how you sound. So use the video tricks that we've learnt during COVID to help us to assess our own performance. That will be helpful. Practice, practice, practice. Practice out loud and as many times as you can, because especially with funeral scripts, you're going to find those moments which catch you, which you find emotional. So you need to desensitize around those words. Say them out loud, say them looking at somebody, say them looking at your partner or your friend or at the camera and then back, so that you can really connect with people without losing your emotional control. And I have to put my hand up. I often fall foul to that. I think, damn, I didn't see that little bit of emotional bit that was going to come there, and it caught me unawares. So even with practice, it can still get to you. But what we can do is really try to weaken those moments, you know, be aware of those moments, be prepared for those moments. The other thing that's recommended is that on YouTube, there are lots of speakers, there are lots of inspirational speakers that you can look and study. I mean, this really is a no-brainer. If you want to see something done well, then you can find it on the internet. You can find it on YouTube. Have a look at what other people do. Why did they hold your attention? What did they do with their body, their eyes, their mouth, the way that they spoke? What did they do that you can emulate to put into your public speaking role? Some of us will have been used to public speaking before. Maybe you were teachers, maybe you used to have to stand up at committee meetings or in front of a board and deliver, but many of us aren't. And it is a fear. I speak to quite a lot of people who are going to be coming along to train as a celebrant, and that's their biggest fear. So my message to you today is, please don't be frightened of it. Use the strategies we just talked about. And if you haven't trained yet, we go through this very, very thoroughly on our training courses at the International College of Professional Celebrants. So don't worry about it, and come along and be trained how to speak publicly and to deliver your ceremonies beautifully. Thanks for listening.